कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, यथाय गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 21st. Instructions by Maharaj Prathu, text number 33. Please repeat. Tameva yuyam bhajatatma vrittibhir mano vachah kaya gunai swakarmabhih amayinah kamadugangri pankajam यथाधिकारा वसितार्थ सिद्धयः तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिर् मनोवचः काय गुणैः स्वकर्मभिः अमायिनः कामदुघाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजम् यथाधिकारावसितार्थसिद्धयः तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिः मनोवचः कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः अमायिनः कामदुघाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजम् यथाधिकारावसितार्थसिद्धयः
तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिः कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः अमायिनः कामदुघाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजम्
Mataji. तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिः मनोवचः कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः Word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Tam, unto him, eva, certainly, yuyam, all you citizens, bhajata, worship, atma, own, vrittibihi, occupational duty, manaha, mind, vachaha, words, kaya, body, gunaihi, by the particular qualities, swakarmavihi, by occupational duties, amayinaha, without reservation, kamadugha, fulfilling all desires, angri pankajam, the lotus feet, Yatha, as far as Adhikara, ability, Avasita Artha, fully convinced of one's interest, Siddhayaha, satisfaction. Translation. Prithu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities, and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. Purport. As stated in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Swakarmana tam abhyarcha, one has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's occupational duties. This necessitates accepting the principle of 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Prithu Maharaj therefore says, Gunahi Swakarma Vihi. This phrase is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasha. The 4 castes, the Brahmans, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, are created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the material modes of nature and the particular duties discharged in those modes. A person who is situated in the mode of goodness is certainly more intelligent than others. Therefore, he can practice the Brahmanical activities, namely speaking the truth, controlling the senses, controlling the mind, remaining always clean, practicing tolerance, having full knowledge about one's self-identity, and understanding devotional service. In this way, if he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord as an actual Brahman, his aim to achieve the final interest of life is attained. Similarly, the Kshatriya's duty are to give protection to the citizens, to give all his possessions in charity, to be strictly Vedic in the management of state affairs, and to be unafraid to fight whenever there is an attack by enemies. In this way, a Kshatriya can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his occupational duties. Similarly, a Vaishya can satisfy the Supreme Godhead by properly executing his occupational duties, engaging himself in producing foodstuffs, giving protection to cows, and trading, if necessary, when there is an excess of agricultural production. Similarly, because Shudras do not have ample intelligence, they should simply engage as workers to serve the higher statuses of social life. Everyone's aim should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by engaging his mind in thinking always of Krishna, his words in always offering prayers to the Lord or preaching about the glories of the Lord, and his body in executing the service required to satisfy the Lord. As there are 4 divisions within our body, the head, the arms, the belly, and the legs, similarly human society, taken as a whole, is divided into 4 classes of men according to their material qualities and occupational duties. Thus, the Brahmanical or intelligent men have to execute the duty of the head. The Kshatriyas must fulfill the duty of the arms. The Vaishya class must fulfill the duty of the belly, and the Shudras must fulfill the duty of the legs. In executing the prescribed duties of life, no one is higher or lower. There are such divisions as higher and lower, but since there is actually a common interest to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no distinctions between them. The question may be raised that since the Lord is supposed to be worshipped by great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others, how can an ordinary human being on this planet serve him? This is clearly explained by Prithu Maharaj by the use of the word yathadikar, according to one's ability. If one sincerely executes his occupational duty, that will be sufficient. One does not need to become like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Lord Chaitanya, or Ramanujacharya, whose capabilities are certainly far above ours. Even a Kshudra who is in the lowest stage of life, according to the material qualities, can achieve the same success. Anyone can become successful in devotional service, provided he displays no duplicity. It is explained here that one must be very frank and open-minded, amayinaha. To be situated in a lower status of life is not a disqualification for success in devotional service. The only qualification is that whether one is a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, he must be open, frank and free from reservations. Then, by performing his particular occupational duty under the guidance of a proper spiritual master, he can achieve the highest success in life. As confirmed by the Lord himself, Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Te Api Yanti Param Gatim, Bhagavad Gita 9:32. It does not matter what one is, whether a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra or a degraded woman. If one engages himself seriously in devotional service, working with body, mind and intelligence, he is sure to be successful in going back home, back to Godhead. The Lord's lotus feet are described here as Kama Dughangri Pankajam. because they have all power to fulfill the desires of everyone. A devotee is happy even in this life because although in material existence we have many needs, all his material needs are satisfied, and when he at last quits his body, he goes back home, back to Godhead without a doubt. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. First of all, Happy New Year. Yugadi, I think. Yugadi, beginning of Yug, New Age. So we have several years starting. Gaurabdha started on next day of Gaur Purnima. Jagannath Mishra festival day is the first day. Pratipada of Gaurabdha. Gaurabdha 538 has begun after the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So similarly we have some other calendar. Shakabda or whichever that Yugadi is the lunar calendar. Okay, so varieties of calendars are there. Parsi calendar is there, this calendar. But every time it's a new year, new moment also when we are very Krishna conscious, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Devotees are ecstatic at every moment. Pratipadam Purana Amrita Aswadanam, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. So for us, every moment is new year only. New life, new vigor, new enthusiasm, new inspiration, continuous inspiration. There is no point, there is no reason for getting dejected. If we get dejected, that means Maya has engulfed us in some way or the other. We are in Maya. We are Krishna conscious, we are always enthusiastic. So welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, in which as a part of Bhakti Vaibhav also, we are having this verse under discussion. Evening we will have a discussion on earlier section up to 32nd verse. But for today morning discussion we have 33rd verse, in which Prithu Maharaj is instructing his citizens. In 21 to 36 verses his instructions go on. So here he is saying that engage all your facilities, whatever one has, Varna and Ashram, in the service of the Lord. Because earlier he said how to focus on the lotus feet of the Lord. And in the 32nd verse, he says, one who takes shelter at lotus feet with a pure mind, detachment and a strong realization of the Lord's form doesn't surrender again to material life. So then his citizen, they ask, since we are drowned in our household activities, how can we worship the Lord with pure bhakti? That's the question in the hearts of the citizen who are all householders, grahasthas. So Prithu Maharaj says, no problem. Worship him according to your varna and ashram by simultaneously performing your prescribed duties and Navada Bhakti, which he is saying here. Prithu Maharaj advised his citizens in 33rd verse, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. He says even a little amount of bhakti can purify the impurities present in the performance of these sacrifices. So his stress is on performing pure devotional service. One can be engaged in his occupational duties. That's not a problem because Lord has a perfect system in this world so that even our material necessity should be taken care of. Else, how would we perform devotional service? Pure devotional service can be performed on the platform of Atma, spirit soul. But currently, we conditioned souls, the Atma, pure spirit soul, is in a body. And body has certain needs like food, clothing, shelter. And for that, some kind of earning is required. Some things by which we get food, something by which we get clothes, and something by which we get some shelter, some house or something. So for that, one has to be engaged in his Varnashram duties. But with all that, all the faculties, facilities one has, they should all be engaged in the service of the Lord. Idam hi pumsas tapasashrutasya va svishtasya suktasya buddhi dattayo avichutortha kavibhir vinirupitam yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. So Narad Muni in his teachings to Vyasdev, he is telling that all the facilities one has, all the expertise, this is in first canto, 5th chapter, 20th verse. The Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos, and still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation. I opened some other verse. This is 22nd verse. Idam hi pumsas tapasya. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. So all that one has, one can be used. Whatever talents we have by Lord's grace, according to our previous life, guna karma, we have this material body with certain swabhava, it's certain gunas, certain qualities, and accordingly are our activities. So all those qualities can be engaged. The expertise of our subtle body and also gross body can be engaged in the service of the Lord. And that is precisely the Varnashram system. Varna is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and ashrams are Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. So whatever, according to one's Varna and according to ashram, whatever talents one has, they all should be engaged in the service of the Lord. And simultaneously one should perform devotional service. So the material well-being is taken care of, material body, the gross body is getting food, clothing, shelter, and the subtle body is peaceful. Subtle body doesn't have any hankering. Then one can practice devotional service on the platform of the soul. And that's how all would be engaged. The Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas and Shudras. All four. Like we see Sudama Brahman. In one sense, he did not have enough materially, or nothing in one sense. But he went on. He was happy performing devotional service. He was going on with his activities. As Prabhupada says about Brahmana's activities. Shamaddama tapashaucham kshantirarjavamevacha jnana vijnanamastikyam brahma karma svabhavacham. So he had full control over his mind. Can you imagine a situation like that where there is no food in the house, no food in the Brahmacharya ashram? Brahmacharis will wage a war, revolution. So that is our current condition. But Sudama was a Brahman, he was a householder with some 2-3 kids, but he was, and wife obviously, so he was peaceful. Hevile anante jaise, rahavechi taise, chitte asudyave samadhan. One of our Maharashtrian senses. That whatever condition the Lord has kept you in, be satisfied. Because Lord Ananta has kept you in that condition. How will Lord Ananta keep you? He will keep you Ananta way only, unlimitedly only. But only you have limited knowledge, so you feel so much shortages there in my life, so much of shortcoming, so much of things are missing. One who has complete absorption in the Lord, he never finds anything missing in life. Everything is there. Chitte asudyave samadhana. In the heart one should have complete satisfaction. And Sudama was like that. He was completely peaceful. But his wife felt that children should be having some food and all. So she requested, and then we know how he went to Krishna. And there also he thought of carrying something for Krishna, not asking. If you see, he did not ask anything from Krishna for during his stay there, but he gave Krishna that chip rice. He was a little hesitant by seeing the opulence in Dwarka. But how could I offer Krishna? Because here the goddess of fortune is ruling like anything. And my chipped rice is of very low quality. From 4 different houses, wife had baked 4 different varieties of chipped rice. They were all low class only, because when you give to some beggar or somebody, you don't give high class whatever that you give. And that also 4 varieties were there. They were all mixed together, and that poha was made. And that's what was there with Sudama. So he was hesitant, but then Krishna was insistent. He only took it. So he did not ask anything from Krishna, but he gave. Dadati pratigranati we say. But he did not, in one sense, expect anything. So that kind of brahmanas were there. Similarly, Kshatriyas also. So Kshatriyas also supposed to do their duties of ruling over the citizen as their father. They act like father. Like Lord Ram also it is said, he was very fatherly. In age, he was very young to his citizen in Ayodhya. He was quite young, but citizen considered him to be like father. Like father takes care very lovingly. Like that he was taking care. So all Kshatriyas should do their duties perfectly of protecting cows, old men, brahmanas, children and women. So we find in the case of Shivaji Maharaj, our Maharashtrian Kshatriya, who protected Dharma very powerfully. But once when he came to meet Sant Tukaram Maharaj and heard his discourse, he was so ecstatic. And he felt, what nonsense I am doing in life, conquering over these forts made up of soil and stones. Better to conquer this fort of body and mind and senses. So hell with all my duties. And he said, not going only. So then after the discourse was over, everything is over, all the formalities over. So now everybody left. But Shivaji Maharaj is not leaving. So the ministers, the soldiers came, we need to go back to our kingdom. He said, you all go. You take care of the kingdom under the guidance of my mother, Jidamata. She is expert, Shatrani. So I will stay here at the lotus feet of Tukaram Maharaj and perform bhakti. I'll chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was fully blissful. Maybe never before, so much now. So when Tukaram Maharaj came to know, then Tukaram Maharaj gave another discourse. Now this was only for Shivaji Maharaj, mainly for Shivaji Maharaj. Others also sat, few others, his ministers and all that. And he said how one should perform his duties. How for a Kshatriya, because he is taking care of the citizen and protecting Dharma. He is establishing Dharma and then he is maintaining the Dharma. So that is very important. Otherwise the others, enemies, those who are against the Sanatan Dharma, they will attack and they will destroy everything. They will destroy citizen, they will destroy Dharma mainly. And it will be a problem. People will not be able to practice God consciousness. So it is your duty as a Kshatriya, as a ruler, to take care of their well-being, protecting them from the enemies. And this way you will be able to practice Dharma also. This is what will please the Lord. You can do some bhakti undoubtedly, morning, evening, but daytime you have to take care of the citizen, going to court, and all these duties are very important. So they have to be done. Krishna also, because he is also Sreshta, during his ruling as Dwarkadish, he was not the ruler, he was the counselor in one sense, but Ugrasen he made the ruler, because Yadus had been cursed that they would never be on the ruling position. So after killing Kamsa, Ugrasen said, now you are the king. Krishna said, no, we have been cursed. We will never get on the throne. But you be the king. And Ugrasen, though it is said, that Ugrasenas ka purusham, something like that is said, that what kind of purushatva Ugrasen had, that his own son Kamsa had put him in prison, had defeated him. As such, Kamsa was not the son of Ugrasen. Padmavati was the wife of Kamsa. And one day, one demon disguised himself in the form of Ugrasen, and then he came to Padmavati, who could not recognize that this is not my husband, and he impregnated her, and that's how Kamsa, a demon, was born. Otherwise Ugrasen is a pure devotee of the Lord. He had so much bhakti. So he would not have produced a demon like Kamsa. So this story is there in Sri Bhagavatamrita, how Padmavati was impregnated by one demon. So Kamsa had defeated, but then Krishna said, no, you be the ruler. And Ugrasen was the ruler. And every day Krishna would also go to Sudharma assembly, which was directly descended from the assembly of the demigods. From heaven, the assembly hall had come for Krishna as a gift. That was Sudharma assembly. And Krishna was going there. So Shivaji Maharaj was told by Tukaram Maharaj that you perform your duty. And then by the blessings of Tukaram Maharaj, then Shivaji Maharaj went back. So Shivaji Maharaj was very much impressed by saints like Tukaram Maharaj. Earlier also, this discourse why he had to come, because earlier he had sent Nazrana, means lot of wealth in gold plate, they would give lot of jewelry, silk clothes, etc. So all that was offered to Tukaram Maharaj. But Tukaram Maharaj was not there that time, and his wife saw that, oh, Shivaji Maharaj has sent, oh, the devotion of my husband has fructified somehow after a long time. So she was very happy. She took all the jewelry, she wore silk clothes, she was ecstatic, and she put on the son and daughter. And after some time, Tukaram Maharaj came and he was wondering, so much wealth, where did it come from? He asked wife, how did you get this? She said, Shivaji Maharaj has sent this, at least your devotion had some use. Otherwise, I was thinking it is your useless devotional service. We are getting nothing by it, rather we are losing everything in house and in our family. But at least something has come. So Shiva immediately Tukaram Maharaj said, no, this is not ours. Others' wealth is like a stool only for us. It's a yellow color only, so it's yellow stool. Give it up. Remove that. I said, what you are talking? Yellow stool? This is gold ornament, necklace, all that. So he said, nothing doing, you remove. She was reluctant, then he only started removing her ornament. She became frustrated, removed everything, threw it all away. And Shivaji Maharaj was informed that he is not accepting only. So Shivaji Maharaj then thought, okay, he is not accepting. Maybe in public it doesn't look good to accept like this. But he is in poverty-stricken condition. He has wife, he has children. He requires something for maintenance. But in public, how will he take it? It will be little odd, no? So if we give him privately, without anyone's knowledge, then he will accept. So what he did, Shivaji Maharaj, he told his soldiers to spread the golden jewelry on the bank of Indrayani river. And Tukaram Maharaj would every day go to respond to nature's call every morning. So exactly where he would go, that side only he spread all the golden ornaments, that side, on the bank of Indrayani. So Tukaram Maharaj went there and he saw all that. So he changed his path. He went to another side to respond to nature's call. And then when he was returning, some villagers saw and said, Tukaram Maharaj, how you are on this side? Generally you go to that side, na? He said, yeah, I had gone there, but I saw already there was a lot of stool spread all over. So how can I go then? I would have got contaminated, so I went this side to. So soldiers heard that, they were shocked, oh my God. Even in his privacy also he doesn't want to. He's completely detached. Then Shivaji Maharaj thought this is too much. I have to go and hear from him now. Such a great saintly person. And then that is what happened. But Shivaji Maharaj was discouraged from that complete dedication. It would have been nice to have Gaurang Sabha. I would have done the mistake of telling Shivaji Maharaj, yeah, you join our Brahmachari ashram. You will be our Brahmachari leader. But Dadi will say, no problem, you can live with beard also. Let people know this is really Shivaji Maharaj, who is the head of our Brahmachari ashram. But I will try to follow in the footsteps of Tukaram Maharaj by guiding at least few members to continue their duties. So we find that in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says that how this cooperation is required between main and demigods. Krishna says in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 11th verse, Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param avapsyatha. So he says how there should be cooperation. Devan bhavayata nena. When you all, main, Krishna is guiding the main, when you all worship the demigods through yajnas, etc. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. Then the demigods will be pleased and they will fulfill your necessities. Indra will send the rain, Varun will take care of the water of the rains in the water bodies like ponds, rivers, oceans, etc. And then earth will give a lot of crops, etc. So there should be mutual cooperation. Parasparam bhavyanta, parasparam, mutual. Demigods, you worship demigods, you serve them, because demigods get their powers when the human beings offer them yagyas, etc. Demigods' powers increase. So they get benefited. So in return, they will also, it's like win-win situation in our corporate world language. So, and then the demigods will give you facilities. Shreya param avapsyata. And by this, there will be Shreya, ultimate good for all. And you can practice very sincerely. So then also there is discussion about main and main cooperation. Main and demigod cooperation, because they have the natural resources with them. But even if natural resources are there, still we are living in a society of human beings. So we need to have cooperation among human beings also. So that's why it is said, Swakarmanatam Abhyarcha. Earlier there was barter system. Everybody would be into something, and whatever they would produce, they would give to other person, which he did not or could not produce. So he gets that, and then in return he gives what he has. Like some grocers, they have grains. So some blacksmith, he can produce some spade and spears or whatever that required in household gardening and other things. So he can give his spade to that grocer, and the grocer will give him some equivalent amount of grains, etc. And this person can bring the grains, cook them, offer to Krishna and honor them. So that kind of barter system was there, and that's how the society, society is maintained. So here Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras also. Tukaram Maharaj was also shopkeeper. So he had given, because there was drought, people did not have, that time he had given a lot of loan to people, and unfortunately people could not repay. People were dying, the cattle were dying and all that. So Tukaram Maharaj, ultimately understanding it to be Lord's, how people are dying pathetically. Some people asked him, "Arey, go and ask for a claim for your money." He said, "How can I ask? They are not having anything to eat, they are dying, their family members are dying." So he felt pity on all, compassion. And then ultimately all the receipts that he had of people taking loan, he just submerged them in the river and said, "Lord, I depend on you only." And Lord took care of him. Similarly, Shudras also, we have one great devotee in Maharashtra called Gora Kumbhar. He was a potter, because he was a Shudra. So he was a potter. He would maintain, his family members would maintain by this potter's business. So he would do that. And once, while he was such a great devotee of the Lord, that once he brought the hard soil and he put water in that, and water, just like we do for chapati, the atta needs to be made soft, dough and all that. So like that, soil also has to be made soft, then only pots can be shaped, etc. So he was doing that. While doing that, he had small son inside the house. Wife was taking care, but she had to go somewhere. So she told husband, who was engaged in, with his legs he was smashing the water and soil, he was mixing it. That cannot be done with hand, that has to be done with feet. So wife told, "Please take care of this child who is inside the house." And she left for that activity, whatever she had to do. And that small child, small enough, he was only crawling. So he crawling, mother is not there, he came outside. And he was crying also, but Gora Kumbhar was going on continuously singing the glories of the Lord. He did not realize only. And the child came close to where the pool of this soil and water was there. It had a barrier of the soil, and inside there was water. And Gora Kumbhar was engaged there. And then the child crossed that also, and then he came inside. He came close to the feet of Gora Kumbhar. Gora Kumbhar was going on like this, and the child, very small, he tried to hold on to Gora Kumbhar's lotus feet, but then he got crushed below. And Gora Kumbhar went on with the soil and water, he crushed the body of his child also. It all became a bloody mess, and the child was crushed. And afterwards, wife came, and she went inside the house. The child is not visible. She was wondering, where is the child gone? So she came out and asked husband, and husband was completely absorbed. She asked, "My dear husband, where is the child?" And he went on. He just went on. He did not understand the wife is asking something. He was completely absorbed in glory, singing the glories of Lord Vittal. So then she shook him. She saw below. The soil had different color today. Blood was mixed there in the water and all that. So she realized maybe something dangerous has happened, and she stopped him. And he was not stopping only, he was going on and on. So one point of time, when she was almost about to beat him in one sense, and then he became very angry and said, "Don't touch me, you cannot touch me," like that. So then she said, "What are you doing? Our child is smashed below your feet, And then he looked below and then he was shocked. My God, what I have done? My son is smashed, he's all bloody mess there. So anyway, he felt bad about it. But then now he had taken a vow almost that I will not touch you because of that incident that happened. So he was not ready to touch his wife only. And now his son is gone, but she wanted another child. Only son was gone. But he had taken a vow that he will not touch her. So then she tried a lot, but there was no question. He was not budging an inch from his determination. He had taken an oath of Lord Vitthal that I will never touch my wife. So then she felt at least family life there should be child. So she requested her father that my younger sister is there, she could be married to her, to Gora Kumar, my husband, like that. I will adjust, after all my sister only, and at least we'll have a child. Then father said, okay. Father was not happy in one sense, that he's so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He's not, but then because the daughter requested, then he agreed. And after the marriage was done, while sending off the daughter, that time he asked Gora Kumbar, daughter, son-in-law, that my dear son-in-law, please don't neglect your wives, and your family duties and all that. The way you treat, and this is your next wife, second wife, but don't make differentiation, don't make any discrimination. Treat your this wife the same way as you treat your first wife. That's it. So first wife I will not touch. Now second wife also I will not touch. So then he told his wife, you sleep outside with first wife, like that. And she said, no, but today is our first night. He said, no, my father-in-law has asked me, I should treat you in the same way. So I don't touch my first wife, I will not touch you also. So both of them slept, wondering, first wife, what a nonsense this, how to come out of, I got her married to him for the reason of, so that child will be there. Now he is not touching her only. So one night, some days passed by and they said nothing doing. The elder sister told, see, tonight we will go, when he is fast asleep, we will sleep to his left and right side. And then he will not know, he will touch us somehow in the night, sleep, and then something like that. We will break his vow. But the younger sister said, no, it is very dangerous to break his vow, husband's vow. She said, don't worry, I take the responsibility. So in the night, because all dark only, so one wife slept on the left side and he was sleeping, but somehow in the night, his hands went like this on their body. And then morning when he got up, he touched something and he was wondering, what is this? And then he understood something is there, and then he understood they are my wives only. Then he said, I have broken my oath, my vow to Lord Vitthal. With these two hands, I don't deserve these two hands. So he had one sharp kind of axe kind of thing. He took his hands and he cut off his two hands. And both the wives were wanting, my God, this is too much. Like what the plan is, the whole thing is going in the other direction only. And now he is without hands. Hands are not, and for a kumbhar, for a potter, hands are very important, because that's how one thing is done with the legs, that mixing of soil, but after that the soft soil has to be taken and put on the wheel, and the wheel should be rotated and the shape should be given. So all these things, hands are very important, and he has no hands. So now what to do? So what happened? Lord felt compassion that my devotee is in this condition. So Lord Narayan came from, Lord Vitthal came as potter, and his wife Rukmini Devi came as his wife, potter's wife, like that. And Garudji, they made him into a donkey for getting soil from wherever, because that also has to be done. And then so every day Lord would go get the soil and Lakshmi would be digging it, and eventually Lakshmi said, what is this, living the opulence of Vaikuntha, what are we doing here? And this Garud has become a donkey, and he is supposed to fly high in the sky. The poor fellow is walking on the road loaded with so much soil. And Vitthal said, no, my devotee is in trouble, this is my duty. Jab tum mere naam mein, मैं तेरे काम में. See the example. Other examples are also, so many Maharashtrian saints are there. Lord did what not. Janabai, another saint. She was a maid servant. A long story, very beautiful story. I don't know how to tell because time is not there. So she was hardly 12 years old when with her father and mother she came to Pandharpur Dham. She was very eager to take darshan of Lord Vitthal. So then parents said, okay, take it. You are a little grown up now, we'll take you. Earlier they would deny, no, you are too small, you are only 7-year-old, 6-year-old. So now this around 12 years old. So she came and then she took darshan of Lord Vitthal and she was mesmerized. What a darshan, what a beautiful Lord. So then she was absorbed in taking darshan. Parents took darshan, prayed, whatever, and came out and said, Jana, come out, Jana Bai. So Jani, come. So she was absorbed only, and then they shook her. Jani, time to go now. She said, you go. I will not go. I will remain with Vitthal only. I said, hey, Jani, we have to go home. Temple will close eventually. She said, no, you go. And she was not ready to come only. Parents were wondering what to do. They thought, okay, anyway, we are staying here only in Pandharpur. Tomorrow we'll take her. So then they went out, what to do. She's so adamant. So there the pujaris closed the door and then she had to come outside the altar. There in Lord Vitthal you can embrace also in earlier day. You can go directly in the altar only, touch the lotus feet of Lord Vitthal. So then she came out and she was there, and then eventually morning somehow she spent the night and then she was wondering what to do now, where are my parents gone. So there was one caretaker of the temple. So he saw this girl and asked whereabouts. She said, I am not with any parents. Vitthal only is my father. So he takes her to his house. And they had 13 members in their house. And now he tells his wife, this is one more, 14. And wife says, what nonsense, we already have 13 people, a huge family, and 14th member you have brought. Why have you brought? Whose daughter is she? Let her go. He said, no, Lord Vitthal has sent her. Don't worry, she will do household duties and all that. So she would do all the household duties in the house of this person. And his son was only Namdev, another pure devotee of Lord Vitthal. And she became the mother of Namdev also in one sense. Small girl, but she was taking care of this son also. She is called as Namyachi Janani, the mother of Namdev Maharaj. Her name is also Jana, Jani, but also Janani, like that. And she would do household duties, so she would be grinding the grains in that grinding, mortar kind of, chakki. So Lord Vitthal would come and he would catch that and both of them would do together. And she would be reciting the abhangas, so many hundreds of abhangas. The tongue was incessantly was singing the glories of the Lord. And Lord was completely mesmerized. Lord would carry her water, all sweeping the floor, everything he would do. So such kind of pure devotees, though born in low families. Many Maharashtrian saints, they are born in very low class Kshudra families. Sautamali, he was a gardener. And he would not even go to Pandharpur and he would be taking care of garden. This is Lord Vithal's garden. So this is completely meant for Lord's service only. And others would condemn, what kind of devotion you have? We are going to Pandharpur, you are not even coming to Pandharpur. So no, this garden of Lord Vitthal only I am taking care, no need like that. But there is nice foodstuffs that are cooked, some sabjis and all. So they sent with the people. And Lord Vitthal relished all those sabjis directly because so much devotion. And many stories happened. Once there was some Durga Puja in the village and then they were taking the goats of everyone's house because they had some kind of superstitions that if we do offer goats to Durga, then she will be peaceful and all the troubles in the village will be gone. So they were asking him also, Sautamali, give your goat. He said, no, I will not give. Goat is not for killing. This is not good. Devi, will she be pleased like this? But unfortunately, without his knowledge in the night only, they stole the goat and took and gave, sacrificed also. So he was feeling very bad. And his small daughter, she felt that Lord Vitthal should come and their whole garden, their field was also destroyed. Somehow they were surviving. But then his daughter felt that Lord Vitthal should only come to our place. So long story, but then ultimately Lord Vitthal personally comes. And she was high on fever. She was not eating anything. But Lord Vitthal comes and pacifies her. And then gives darshan to Sautamali also. Lord personally came. Though he did not go to Pandharpur, Lord came. So no matter which condition of life one is in, one can be devoted to the Lord. It doesn't matter externally one is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And all of them with their body, mind and words, they should engage in the service of the Lord. Mano, Vachaha, Kaya, Gunaisva Karma Bhi. With their body, mind and words, they should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Prabhupada gives the analogy of whole body, human body is compared to our social body also. Our human body is compared to social body. So Brahmanas represent the head, the intellectual class of people. The Kshatriyas, the arms, which are for protection. Anything is about to fall on our head, immediately we cover our head with the hands, because hands are for protection. Similarly, we put helmet for the head. We don't have helmet for hands and legs. Most important is head, so that should be protected. Kshatriyas protect Brahmanas, and Vaishyas, they are compared to belly, because in belly only food is put, then it is digested and it is applied to entire body. So similarly, Vaishyas, they earn money and they maintain everybody in the society. And Shudras are compared to legs because they work for physical activities, work. Legs are required. But nobody is higher, nobody is lower. We don't mistreat our hands and legs. With our head, we don't make a plan to cut off our hands and legs or beat our belly. We don't do that, because whole body acts as one unit only, and we serve the purpose, the whatever our target, our desire, we fulfill with the entire body. Some for fulfilling the body, the intelligence is required, fulfilling the purpose. Intelligence, with that we make plan. With hands we may do some things. With legs we go to a particular place to execute that work. And with stomach also we have eaten food, and that gives bodily strength to all the parts of the body. So entire body acts as one unit only. No one is higher, no one is lower. Similarly, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, they are also not four separate personalities, they are one in that sense. Just like husband, wife also, ideally in Vedic life, they are one unit only. Though two bodies, but supposed to be having one purpose only. Performing household duties centered around Krishna and taking care of all the household chores, making sure that children are taken care, relatives, and then animals, everybody is maintained by grahasthas, the grahastha couple. And then preaching also should be done. So that is how the society functions. So no discrimination made, because everybody is focused on our spiritual identity, and that is the servant of Lord Krishna. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said, Naham Vipro na chanarapatir napi vaishyo na shudro naham varni na chagrahapatir na vanastho yatirva kintu prodyan nikhila paramananda purnamrutabdes gopi bhartuhu padakamalyor dasa dasa dudasah. I am not a Brahman, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Shudra, I am not a Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyasi. I am only servant of Lord Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. So, though one may function with the gross body in a particular varna and ashram, in the soul platform or intelligence platform, one should know I am none of these four, I am none of these eight. I am only servant of Krishna. That is on the soul platform. That should be done. And there should not be any discrimination made. Nobody should think he is high. That happened in India some around 100 years back, wherein Brahmanas were dominating and they were saying Shudras are low class, we should not see them, and so many restrictions on Shudras, they cannot visit temples, and so many, lot of mistreatment was given to them. So this envy should not be exhibited. Envy is done, envy is seen in through four C's. One is criticizing. So no one should criticize anybody else. Then one should not complain. We should not complain about anyone. One should not compare. So head should not think I am superior. Brahmana should not think that we are supreme. And one should not, which one is remaining? Compare. No, comparing is over. Comparing, complaining, criticizing and competing. Yeah, competing, correct. So these four C's, anywhere we have in our life, that means there is envy in our heart. If you are competing with someone, comparing with someone, complaining about someone, or criticizing someone, that means envy is not yet gone from our heart. Anyway, envy will be the last one to go out. Lust can go, pride can go, greed can go, but envy will not go. Envy is first in, last out. So that's why one should not show any of these four tendencies. We should know our unique potential. Everybody has a unique potential. All of us have our talents, different talents. Whichever Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra we may have, irrespective of our gross body, everybody has a unique talent. And that talent should be known. So identify your unique potential and use it in the service of the Lord. His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj would always say that be yourself and contribute to Prabhupada's mission. Be yourself. Don't try to compare with anybody and don't try to be somebody else. It will be so ugly, so bad. Once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, Radheshyam Prabhu was also sitting there. Just imagine if Radheshyam Prabhu thinks that he is, what is the name of that Mataji? Forgot the name. Premlata Mataji, Adi Keshav Prabhu's wife and Madhav's mother, Madhav Prabhu's mother. Madhav was small that time. So Mataji was also sitting in the class. So just imagine if Radheshyam Prabhu thinks that he is, I forget the name of Mataji, Adi Keshav Prabhu's wife. Prem is there I think and something else is there. So Premlata Mataji. So everybody started laughing because Mataji is huge size also and Radheshyam Prabhu was very lean and thin. And Radheshyam Prabhu is a brahmachari in the male body and she is in female body and she is a grihastha. She is a mother. And Radheshyam Prabhu, grandfather of many youth. Maybe great grandfather, something like that. So, and then Radheshyam Prabhu thinks now I have to cook for Adi Keshav Prabhu. So what should I cook today for him, and then what about Madhav? Madhav is going astray, he is going here and there. Why is he not coming to temple? If Radheshyam Prabhu starts functioning like that in Brahmachari ashram, all the brahmacharis will be like, what has happened to him? He's gone crazy or what? He's not gone crazy, he's gone crazy. So it will be very odd, isn't it? So likewise, we should not try to be somebody else. Certainly we can get inspired by some great souls, because Yad Yad Acharya Shrestha's principle works. So by inspiration should be taken, but we have to be what we are. We have to be what we are and contribute to Prabhupada's mission according to our unique potential. Everybody has different unique potential. So yesterday I was telling our Balkrishna Prabhu also that there are 8 types of intelligences. There is one test called DMIT, multiple intelligence test. So there are not only one intelligence. Many of us coming from technical background, so we have only one type of intelligence which we feel is the intelligence. Only intelligence in the creation is our engineering intelligence. But that is not the only one. Many engineers don't know how to sing. They are given kartal mridang, they are given sound is produced. But they will not know how to play it because they don't have musical intelligence. So that is one type of intelligence. That is called as musical intelligence. That means rhythm, tal. Many people don't even know tal. Timing. Whatever the timing is there. So it will vary, like we do kirtan. So rhythm will change. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I changed very quickly in one Mahamantra only. So timing has to be known. That is musical intelligence. Then he says logical mathematical, that is required in engineering, logic. Then there is interpersonal intelligence, that means social dealings, how to deal with others, like that. So recently I happened to undergo this test. So for me interpersonal intelligence is the highest, like that. So making friendship with anyone and everyone is quickest thing. In less than a minute the friendship happens, because as a preacher it is required. Book distribution, that means I have interacted with lakhs of people. No train was left without distribution. So every train journey, which was 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers every month, like that for 14 years of train journey in Indian Railways. So whole train I have to cover and approach people. Not many books will go, but approach will be there. So how to interact with people, how to know what's going on in his mind. It's all very fast, very quick. Then there is visual intelligence, visual spatial, SPACIAL, SPATIAL. So visual, by seeing, like here we see the decoration. Many people don't even understand what's there. Beautiful. But Beautiful means what it is. There are so many things there. We have turban, we have their pieces there, then we have choker of Jagannath and deities, then we have necklaces, we have flower garland. Flower garlands are also having varieties of flowers. There will be rose there, there will be marigold there, there will be lotus there sometimes, all that. And the crowns are there. So many things are there. I saw that when I was doing deity worship earlier. At least once in a week I would do, or sometimes more also. So that time this intelligence had developed very nicely. It develops also. And then there is intrapersonal, that is introspective. That is another intelligence one could have. Then there is which one? Verbal, linguistic. So this is also there to some degree in me. So I learned Bangla language by seeing the alphabets. So learned means reading. So we can learn. There are people who know many languages. His Holiness Navengudra Swami Maharaj knows 13 languages. He knows Swahili, African language. How many of you had not heard the word Swahili? He knows the language because he was going to South Africa after Prabhupada's departure, and he learnt it like that. And many other languages he knows, and many others. Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj also knew many languages. Even our Bhakti Vikas Maharaj knows Hindi, Bangla. Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj knows Bangla, Marathi. Apart from Kannada, which is his hometown in Karwar, I happened to see his house, ancestral house, when I went to Karwar. So multiple languages, that is also required to be learned. Then naturalistic intelligence, nature, what is happening, changes are happening. Many voices I go for sleeping, I need to sleep, keep head on the east side. So ask devotees, so where is east? Where the sun rises? All are looking at each, all engineers. They say, wait a minute, Prabhu, I will start the compassing. I said, Arey, what nonsense? You have been staying here for months together and you don't know which direction sun rises. What are you doing here? They feel sorry, sorry, because they are caught red-handed. That we are preaching, they are very proud that we are preaching to youth, to PESET, to RV, to NITs, NITians and IITians, and they don't even know where sunrise is. The health god. That's why many times health issues are there, because we don't even know where the health deity, Surya Devta, where is he rising, we don't know. There is bodily intelligence called as kinesthetic. So the devotee who tested me, so he said one boy, small boy is there, he has 65% of kinesthetic intelligence. So he's so restless in the classroom. Small boy, he has to sit in the class, but he cannot sit. For him, he will die rather in the classroom. So he's quite high, 65% is too high of that kinesthetic intelligence. So all these 8 intelligences are there, all of us have. Basically our fingerprints here, they all have how many neurons in our brain, in different lobes of our brain. Accordingly the intelligence acts for a person. So all that is in what is there in our, you cannot open the brain and see how many neurons in your, but through your fingerprints that is all determined. It's all fixed basically. So we can use our intelligence, whichever the type, in the service of the Lord and be happy. So what he says towards the end, whatever one is according to Varna and ashram, that doesn't matter. Just use your body, mind and intelligence in the service of the Lord and please the Lord. Lord will be pleased. Anyone can become successful in devotional service provided he displays no duplicity. Duplicity should not be there. So we should be humble. That's why His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj says, be yourself. Sundarshyam Das is Sundarshyam Das. Anugraha Achyut Prabhu is Anugraha Achyut Prabhu. Our Arvindai Prabhu is Arvindai Prabhu. Don't try to become some Mataji in your congregation. Like that, it will be crazy thing. Be yourself and contribute to Prabhupada's mission. Your unique potential you can find out. You can know with the help of your superiors. Just like Varna and ashram, sometimes the boys are not clear which ashram they are fit for, like that. So I tell flat rule only, everybody should join as a brahmachari. Because you are not married anyway, so you are fit for brahmachari ashram. And remain in ashram. After some years, if you feel this is very nice ashram, but not for me, then you go out for your nokri and chokri. Krishna will arrange. That means your job, livelihood, and a girl for you. Mataji. Mataji means Mataji for us, but girl for you, not Mataji for you, will be arranged by the Lord. Don't worry. And that is Grihastha ashram. And then after Grihastha ashram, if you could enter in Vanaprastha ashram after the age 50, that is great achievement in ISKCON. That is hardly rarest species, Vanaprastha devotee. You'll find many brahmacharis, hundreds of brahmacharis, thousands of grihasthas, and few sannyasis. But Vanaprastha is extinct species or rare species like that. So, and in sannyas, if possible, afterwards, who knows what. But duplicity should not be there. So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Rupa Shiksha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks about this. How Bhakti Lata Bij we obtain from spiritual master, sow it in the soil of our heart and water it through the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, chanting and hearing and chanting. And then that time one has to take care of this Bhakti Lata which is growing. Lata requires watering all throughout, otherwise it will start drying up. Also, Yadi Vaishnava aparad uthe hati mata, upadeva chendetar sukhe jai pata. If one commits offenses to Vaishnavas, then this Bhakti Lata will be uprooted or broken. Then either case, the leaves will dry up, Bhakti Lata will dry, it will die. So that's why one should not commit Vaishnava aparad. Respect all the Vaishnavas. Then next Mahaprabhu says to Rupa Goswami, किंतु यदि लतार अंगे उठे उपशाखा भुक्ति मुक्ति वांछायत असंख्य तार लेखा. Sometimes unwanted creepers such as the creepers of desires for material enjoyment and liberation from the material world grow along with the creeper of devotional service. The varieties of such unwanted creepers are unlimited. The unwanted creepers are called as weeds. WEEDS, weeds. I don't know what it's called. Ghasfoos in Hindi. A lot of other grass grows in the paddy field. The paddy field will give grains to us, which will sustain us. But then this ghasfoos, all the grass, that is not required. But when that grows in the same soil, it absorbs all the water which is meant for the paddy. And then this grass grows like anything, paddy starts drying up. So that should not happen. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling him, that many unwanted creepers grow, desires for material enjoyment and liberation. This will happen for devotee also. Two pishachis are there, two witches, Bhukti Kamna and Mukti Kamna. The desire for material sense enjoyment and the desire for liberation. We get frustrated in spiritual service. Oh, how long this will go on? Just maybe 2 more days, I'll tolerate somehow. Hell with this service. So this is Mukti Vancha in us. The witch of Mukti Kamna is there in the heart. And this is a big obstacle. Because Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Jnana, Karma, Adi Anavratam. Jnana should not cover bhakti. So this kind of desire for liberation from particular service shows that there is a trouble with a devotee. Next he very explicitly mentions all these troubles. Nishiddhachar, Kutinati, Jiva Himsan, Labha Puja, Pratishtadi, Yata Upashakhagan. What are they? Some unnecessary creepers growing with the bhakti creeper are the creepers of behavior unacceptable for those trying to attain perfection. Nishiddhachar. What is Nishiddhachar? Meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication. This is forbidden. So next is diplomatic behavior. Kutinati. So Kutinati is diplomatic behavior. So within devotee association, we should not become diplomatic. That's what Prabhupada very clearly mentions in the purport. Amayinaha. One should not be having duplicity, political behavior. Jiva Himsan, that is animal killing, that should not be there. Then Labha Puja Pratishtati Yata Upashakagan, mundane profiteering, mundane adoration and mundane importance. All these are unwanted creepers. Puja, Labh Pratishta, profit, adoration, distinction. Profit. Any activity you do, you are thinking what profit I will get, some material profit. That should not be the impetus for action. It should be, I will get the mercy of Krishna. Any service I do, I will get mercy of Krishna, mercy of Guru, mercy of Vaishnavas. That's it. No profit we are looking for. Puja is worship. Somebody should worship me. I should get garland always. I should be getting most prominent position, should post position like that. Puja, some worship should be there for me. Somebody should worship me. People should worship me. Puja, Labh, mundane gain, and Pratishta, my image, distinction. In all the devotees, I should be distinctly standing out, like that. So these are very dangerous. So I will read Prabhupada's purport also. There is a certain pattern of behavior prescribed for those actually trying to become perfect. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we advise our students not to eat meat, not to gamble, not to engage in illicit sex, and not to indulge in intoxication. People who indulge in these activities can never become perfect. Therefore, these regulatory principles are for those interested in becoming perfect and going back to Godhead. Kutinati or diplomatic behavior cannot satisfy the Atma, the soul. It cannot even satisfy the body or the mind. The culprit mind is always suspicious. Therefore, our dealings should always be straightforward and approved by Vedic authorities. So, straightforward. Sometimes in our brahmacharis they say, Sundarshyam Prabhu is too straightforward, very frank. So, when I read these two purport, I was thinking, wow, I am in line. This is what is expected also. Straightforward doesn't mean that we are straightforward everywhere. We know also how to behave according to time, place, circumstance. But many times because we are in seniority position, while dealing with younger devotees, we'll directly point out, Prabhu, you are going in Maya, in this way. Avoid that. Otherwise you lose Krishna. You will sleep in japa tomorrow morning. Like that. So straightforward people sometimes feel, this is too much. How can you purify me so fast? I have planned to come to this material world again. I have to preach in Bangalore, because in this life, in so many years I am preaching, I am not getting enough recognition from these HM devotees. So I will have to come for at least few more lifetimes and get enough recognition for that kind of thing. This is a demonstration of straightforward behavior in the class. The culprit mind is always suspicious. Therefore, our dealings should always be straightforward and approved by Vedic authorities. If we treat people diplomatically or duplicitously, our spiritual advancement is obstructed. Sometimes I go to youth center, so they at the end, one particular place in South India I went, so IIT youth center. So they give me one paper at the end, A4 size paper, and I saw, what is it? It's a proof feedback form. Give the feedback. So what? What are you talking? I should feel this. Yeah. Should feel so that we will improve in our voice. I said all that I wanted to speak improvement. If you are attentive, you know what I spoke. That is my feedback. I will not feel this. I gave it empty only. So sorry. Bro, it will be helpful. I said, hear the lectures, recording. Nothing is remaining now. When I leave any place, there is nothing in the mind. This should have been spoken, that should have been. Nothing is there. Everything is already spoken. Straightforward. No duplicity. Like, Jiva Himsan refers to the killing of animals or to envy of other living entities. So we should not be envious of any devotee. So take pleasure in glorifying your younger devotees. Any young devotee is there, even neophyte, even outsider. I glorify even these drivers and all that, those carriers, because of a lot of traveling, so many cabs we have to take, and so many drivers we interact with. Because of interpersonal intelligence, I will ask that driver, what is your name? Today's driver was Nehas. I said, what? I was wondering whether it's a Muslim name or Hindu name, what name? So I asked, what? I was not able to understand. So he said, it's a Kerala, I am from Kerala word. I said, okay, no problem. So he took the book anyway at the end of the journey. In the beginning, his interaction with him, name and place he's from. He knows Tamil language, he knows English little bit, Hindi he speaks. So he took English book anyway, Perfection of Yoga, and give donation of 100 rupees. Very good. So we should not envy other living entities, we should glorify them. We should know they have the spark of Krishna consciousness. All are pure devotees, covered by different degrees of goodness, passion and ignorance. Don't envy anyone. If you envy anyone, you will be failure in your japa. Do we want to be a failure in our japa? Already we are failure. So if you want success, you should glorify everyone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified devotees like he had 10 mouths. All the young devotees also, any young devotee should not think, how can, he's my counseling, how can I glorify him? Or he is very neophyte. You are neophyte because you think he is neophyte. Anybody who thinks that others are neophytes, he himself is biggest neophyte. The killing of poor animals is undoubtedly due to envy of those animals. The human form is meant for the understanding of Krishna consciousness, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, for inquiring about the Supreme Brahman. In the human form, everyone has a chance to understand the Supreme Brahman. The so-called leaders of human society do not know the real aim of human life and are therefore busy with economic development. This is misleading. See, economic development is misleading. These leaders are all so much. Every state and every society is busy trying to improve the quality of eating, sleeping, mating and defending. This human form of life is meant for more than these four animal principles. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending are problems found in the animal kingdom, and the animals have solved their problems without difficulty. Why should human society be so busy trying to solve this difficulty? Trying to solve this problem. See, animals we consider low in intelligence, and they don't have problem in their eating, sleeping, mating, defending. And we have so much problem with all these four. Eating, big problem. Sleeping, another problem. Mating, another problem. Defending, another problem. We have whole defense, Air Force, Navy, Army, what not. How much budget money goes on that? So much defense and meat eating also. And eating. So many malls, so much of food stuff. Sleeping problem, Kalon bed, and then what Dunlop bed and water bed. They are not able to sleep only with all that. There are rich people who sleep on their curl on bed, but they are not able to sleep. After taking 15-20 sleeping pills, they are still awake because in the ceiling there are 10 crore rupees which is hidden. In the walls and pillars there are 5 crore rupees. So if income tax officer, sales tax officer, they attack and they break the ceiling, I'll be caught, I'll be behind the bars. People are not able to have simple sleep also. And mating also, so much of artificial lifestyle. So mating is another problem. In a sense, people are not able to conceive children, what not kind of problem. So we are lower than animals in one sense because we are not able to solve our simple problems of eating, mating, sleeping, defending, which are daily requirements, regular requirements. And animals have solved them quite comfortably. The difficulty is that people are not educated to understand this simple philosophy. They think that advancement of civilization means increasing sense gratification. There are many religious propagandists who do not know how the ultimate problems of life can be solved, and they also try to educate people in a form of sense gratification. This is also Jiva Himsan. Real knowledge is not given, and religionists mislead the general populace. As far as material profits are concerned, one should know that whatever material profit one has must be abandoned at the time of death. So whatever we have will leave us, or if it doesn't leave us, we will have to leave it. Money you have will leave you. Somehow somebody will steal it, some relatives will take it, somehow it will be gone. If somehow you are successful in maintaining your money with you for all your life, then you will die and you will have to leave the money. Either money will leave you or you will leave the money. One of the two will definitely happen. One will happen first or second, whatever. Unfortunately, people do not know that there is life after death. Therefore, mundane people waste their time amassing material profit which has to be left behind at the time of death. Such profit has no eternal benefit. Similarly, adoration by mundane people is valueless because after death one has to accept another body. Prabhupada said one of the Prime Ministers of India, he became a dog in Switzerland. He was very fond of foreign items. Even when he or his father would go to Prabhupada's Prayagraj pharmacy in Prayag, because their house was nearby only. So Prabhupada, as a pharmacist, he would offer the medicine. He wanted foreign, British-made medicine. So Prabhupada would give him, and Prabhupada would tell him, see, same Indian makeup is also there, but it is cheap. This is 10 times costlier, what is made in Britain. And this Indian is having the same ingredient, this is much better, cheaper. He would say no. Anything made in India is low class, anything made in Britain is high class. He had a servant in the house, and he was maintaining that British servant was so costly, it was difficult, but still he was maintaining for profit, for distinction, that we are so rich, we are politician, we are having a white-bodied servant in our house. All foolishness. So that his son became, Prabhupada said, a dog in Switzerland. What is the use after being Prime Minister and then next life is a dog? Adoration by mundane people is valueless because after death one has to accept another body. Material adoration and titles are decorations that cannot be carried over to the next body. In the next life, everything is forgotten. All these obstructions have been described in this verse as unwanted creepers. They simply present obstacles for the real creeper, the Bhakti Lata. One should be very careful to avoid all these unwanted things. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like the Bhakti Lata creeper. They appear to be of the same size and the same species when they are packed together with the Bhakti Lata creeper. But in spite of this, the creepers are called Upashakha. A pure devotee can distinguish between the Bhakti Lata creeper and a mundane creeper, and he is very alert to distinguish them and keep them separate. So it requires to be pure devotee. Hearing from pure devotee regularly will make it clear to us as to which is our real Bhakti Lata and which are the other weeds which we are unnecessarily watering foolishly. So there are, I think the other day I talked about, there is Bhakti Lata beach, apart from there is Karma beach, then there is Jnana beach, we discussed to some extent, then there is social beach, political beach, and philanthropic beach, yoga beach also, 6 other beaches Prabhupada talks. You can read 152nd verse of this section only, 19th chapter of Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, 19.152. Very powerful. Mali Hayya Sei Bija Kare Aropan Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaye Sechan. How to water Bhakti Lata, else we will destroy ourselves only by our ignorance. So that is Prabhupada's message. Anyone can become successful in devotional service provided he displays no duplicity. That's why, as Siddha Swami said, Siddha Maharaj said, be yourself and contribute to Prabhupada's mission. You will be most successful, and that would be really the offering for Prabhupada and Prabhupada's mission. Okay, any question? Hare Krishna.
Like in the Prabhupada also, Prabhupada told the same thing, that even the lowest of Gujarat can attain the highest perfection provided he performs devotional service without duplicity. So this duplicity kind of is already there, and simplicity I feel synonymous to truthfulness or straightforward nature. But actually simplicity is best of it. So I am not able to get how one can invite simplicity in his devotional service. And another question is,
now wait, one at a time. By associating with devotees, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. The kind of association you choose, then the desires are automatic. Because you have chosen a particular association, the desires you don't have control over. So association is your choice. So be very careful in association. So many directions are there in this chapter itself, in this section only. Otherwise all throughout Prabhupada books. How to, Prabhupada so many times stresses on avoiding materialistic association. Rupa Goswami himself is telling that twice, that Sangha Tyagat Sato Vrutte, or another verse also. So one should choose association carefully. Then you will learn simplicity in the association of very simple devotees, straightforward devotees, frank devotees, as Prabhupada is using many words there. Frank, straightforward, open-minded. Amayina is the Sanskrit word, and Prabhupada is giving English equivalents. So such devotees are very important. They progress like anything. Prabhupada himself was like that in America. He was straightforward. He did not hesitate to tell the truth. Many people in India as well as in West told him, why don't you name this society as International Society for God Consciousness? Prabhupada said that God, his name is Krishna, we know it already. So we'll directly call it ISKCON only. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Similarly, he was told you should eat with fork, spoons, wear coat, suit, tie, boot, etc. I am not going there to accept their lifestyle. I am going there to teach Vedic Sanatan Dharma. I am not going to beg, I am going to offer them something. So such kind of straightforward devotees will be very successful. Yes. Second question?
and Guruji, if sometimes in the mind it comes like if we will be simple in front of materialistic persons, then they may take benefit of ours. So
Undue advantage should not be allowed to be taken. So that we have to avoid. We can be humble, we can be simple, we can be straightforward in materialistic society also. But undue advantage, you are having that. That's why Guru Sadhu Shastra should be always there, nourishing us. So we know somebody is trying to cheat. So we don't allow that. But we don't get cheated otherwise anyway. Vaman, this Bali Maharaj, you can see, his own guru, Kul Guru, his actual guru is Prahlad Maharaj, but externally the priest, royal priest is Shukracharya, who had also given him second life when in the demigod demon fight he had died also. But Shukracharya with Sanjani mantras gave him second body. So he owed the debt to Shukracharya. But still when Shukracharya misguided him, so his Guru Sadhu Shastra dictated, no, my grandfather Prahlad always directed me, informed me, guided me to surrender everything to Vishnu. So if Vishnu has come as Vamandev, as a dwarf, Good, I'll offer him everything. And he did offer everything. So one should not allow even our so-called teachers also to cheat us. Whether a person next to us is a teacher or cheater, that sense should be there with us. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji, and many nice stories you quoted from.
Because you have not heard about Maharashtrian saints. There are many more.
Actually, we had been Dindi, and that time we heard a lot, so it got revived. It was very nice to hear. So my question was, Prabhuji, nowadays actually it appears to be complicated to be simple. Many times, like one devotee was discussing with me, so I was just asking that, okay, what do you like doing and all? He says, I don't like doing anything, I just like, giving comments and practically doing nothing but giving comments, suggestions and things like that. That's what I like.
The self-appointed advisor.
So, Kaliuga, actually it is very difficult to find out what is the interest of the people. Nowadays, even engineering students also, first they do engineering and then they trace out actually what they have to do. Whether they have to go for doctorate, they have to go for MBA, they have to go for this, that, like that, because of the artificial lifestyle. So, how do we tell people that what are their tendencies? Because they themselves are also confused.
That is not required. Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Das. This is the real tendency, eternal tendency. This human birth is a flash of lightning in our sojourn in the eternity. This is not so important. Because of their materialistic association, they feel that is very important, my identity and all that. We have to emphasize the spiritual identity, that you are Krishna Das. And for maintenance, do something they can take up. That's not a problem.
Like within Krishna consciousness also, like there are devotees who are having duties, different devotees. Like some devotees like preaching, some devotees like Pujari services, some devotees like more of management. But even devotees are also confused about their services. Like, I like preaching, I don't know, I like
So no problem. In the beginning, they are put in different departments. Eventually, they are also watching and authorities are also watching. So it will be known where one will shine, like that. Just like all children are put from whatever that LKG, UKG, first to 10th standard, everything is same. There is no ambiguity. Then 10th onward, there are 3 options in one sense: physics, arts, science, commerce. And then after that, then there are wide range of options. So that is after 10th. So till 10th, everybody goes through language, mathematics. So like that, let all devotees go through, isn't it? And then it will be known. Like first, before even I joined as a brahmachari, my service was fixed, cassette recording. Cassette, tape recorder, that you put cassette and sound is produced. That now currently what we have, this kind of latest advancement was not there. So cassettes were for hearing purpose. So I would record daily hundreds of cassettes, thousands in month period. And then eventually I was put as a cook in the Voice Youth Center after 7-8 months. And I cooked devotees more than the food. So Raisham Prabhu told me that you should cook all 3, breakfast, lunch and dinner. And not only that, you should, after offering, you should serve them, because that's how you will develop friendship with the boys. You should serve personally. So I would do all that, like that. And I knew I am not a good cook. Before me, 2 cooks were there, 2 brahmacharis. They were, each one of them was excellent cook. Shankar Pandit Prabhu and Sankitana Prabhu. Each one was high class. In fact, they say Sankitana Prabhu is having the potential to be international cook also. Like that, very expert, each one of them. And after both of them simultaneously went, I was alone and I was, 3rd class or 10th class cook. So it would be horrible. So I knew I cannot be good in cooking. So I would ask the boys, what you like? So one boy told, I like Rajma Sabji. So next Saturday I went for youth program in temple. I brought so much of Rajma Sabji, and Monday I cooked Rajma. And I served him and said, how is the Sabji? Good. Because it was Rajma Sabji, his favorite. But the point was, it was his favorite Sabji, but the way it was cooked was not good. But he had to say, good, thank you, bro. Another boy asked, what do you like? He said, my mother used to put a lot of groundnuts in the dal. So next time I made dal, so many groundnuts. So there was a confusion whether it's a groundnut sabji in which dal is floating, or it is dal in which groundnuts are floating. So I served him and said, are you happy? Dal with groundnut. He said, yes, bro. What else can he say? So poor fellows. So I was there as a cook from 20th March 2000 till March, April, May, June, first semester, first week, exam got over. So then cooking. Next semester, cook was there in the voice. But, but all boys were very much impressed. Now also, many of them are grahasthas. When they go to their places like Adilabad, one devotee is there, Girivar Prabhu. So he told his wife and mother, Prabhu, like our mother, he used to cook for us in my MBA days. He was doing MBA first year. So the wife and mother thank you Prabhu for feeding our son or our husband. I said, yeah, I fed him, but you should ask him the quality of the food that he is not telling you. It was not good. They said, no, whatever, we are so good. Your cooking also must be good. I said, yeah, it purified them for sure. Like that. So, and then afterwards there was youth preaching, and then youth preaching is going on. It was always there in one sense. For some time I was put in bus party as bus party leader also. I was going to be made as head, not head pujari, full-time pujari. All any time, anything with the deities, any service told, I should be ready. That is full-time pujari. So because in those days brahmanas very less. Because I was great interest in deity worship. I would say brahmacharis, other pujari services, and I would only go. So then ultimately I was cautioned, Prabhu, you will anyway take up services whenever you are told, but others, they will not take ad hoc services. So don't do that. So, but then afterwards, before even announcing myself and one more brahmachari to be full-time pujari, then Raisham Roof, no, in youth preaching there is great need. We cannot spare these two. So we were never announced as full-time pujaris. We continued pujari services, but never as full-time pujaris. So that will be decided little later. Some time will go in that, like that. As youth preaching, I would see Radhesham Prabhu and Chaitanya Prabhu going voice to voice, and only limited, only native Warangal mainly. So then I asked Radhesham Prabhu, can I also travel like you, different place? He said, no, that is not good. See, my level is different. For you, digging in one place deeper and getting water is better than digging in hundreds of places little, and not getting any water only. So that's it. In NIT Warangal only I'll keep digging. So 7 years I dug there. Then ultimately I was relieved. VIT Vellore was one in Tamil Nadu, and then over. Then Raisham said you can travel wherever you want. Wherever people call you, you travel. I said okay. So because eventually there were so many youth preachers, and Raisham felt that they are able to do better, that induction process of the boys. And Sundarshyam Das can go and give lectures to the 16 rounder devotees congregation, because he's senior. He can talk about deeper subject matters than device. Who are you? And who I am. that is not required. Yes, any other? Okay, so we'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर आनंदे।
Krishna, I'd like to thank Sundarshyam